I now call on the Honorable the President to address the joint sitting.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Speaker of the National Assembly,
of the NCOP.
the
I
Chairperson
rise in terms
of the National Council of
the
Provinces,
Joint Rules 14LA,
Deputy Speaker
14S1,
of the National Assembly,
14UB,
and the Deputy
read together with the
Chairperson
Constitution.
Honorable President,
of the NCOP.
Honorable President, please take your seat.
Thank
Honorable
you.
Gadi.
Sit down, President.
No.
Mr.
Honorable Gadi,
Thank
you
you.
are on a point of order. What is your point of order?
Read together, Madam Speaker and Madam Chairperson of the NCOP.
Madam Speaker. Madam
I rise
Speaker,
in terms of the
on a
Joint
point of
Rules
order, please.
14LA,
On a point of order, please.
14S1,
No.
and 14
Honorable Gadi,
UB.
just hold your horses. Honorable member, I have recognized Honorable Gadi. He is still on a point of order. You therefore cannot interrupt a member on the floor who has been recognized. Honorable Gadi, please continue.
Thank you very much. Let me start afresh so that he can hear me well. Madam Speaker and Madam Chairperson of the NCOP, I rise in terms of the rules of the joint sitting, Rule 14LA, Rule 14S1, and Rule 14UB, read together with the Constitution, Section 2, Section 87, Section 49(2), and 51, Paragraph A and B. Read together with the judgment of the Constitutional Court on the 31st of March 2016, which held that the failure by the National Assembly to hold the President accountable by ensuring that he complies with the remedial action taken against him
Honorable
is
Bongo, take your seat.
inconsistent
This member is on the floor.
with its
Take your seat.
obligations.
Honorable Bongo, take your seat. We recognize this member. We will rule on the matter. Please proceed, Honorable Gadi.
It did not go to do his population.
Don't concentrate on him. You are on a point of order.
The failure by the National Assembly to hold the President accountable by ensuring that he complies with the remedial action taken against him is inconsistent with its obligation to scrutinize and oversee the executive action and to maintain oversight of the exercise of executive powers by the President, and in particular, to give urgent attention to or intervene by facilitating his compliance with the remedial action. The Constitutional Court therefore issued an order that the resolution absolving the President from compliance with the remedial action taken by the Public Protector is invalid and set aside. The Constitutional Court therefore went further to say the President has failed to uphold, defend, and respect the Constitution
Honorable
as the supreme
Gadi.
law of the land.
Honorable Gadi.
And accordingly,
Honorable Gadi.
both the President
Honorable
and the
Gadi.
presiding officers are in contempt of the Constitutional Court provision.
What is the point of order?
The point of order is that the President is in breach of his oath of office, failed to uphold, defend, and promote the Constitution.
Honorable Gadi.
And accordingly, he cannot
Honorable
address
Gadi.
honorable members, including the
Honorable
presiding
Gadi.
officers, who they themselves have failed to hold the President accountable.
Honorable
Accordingly,
Gadi.
the Parliament is in contempt of the Constitutional Court, just as
Honorable Gadi,
Mr.
you
Zuma
are
is.
now addressing the House. You are not making a point of order.
Thank you. You have heard, Madam Chairperson of the NCOP. I will await your ruling. Thank you.
Chair.
Honorable Chief Whip of the Majority.
Honorable Chair, Section 89 of the Constitution of the Republic says this Parliament can remove the President from office by a substantive motion that can be brought before this Parliament. Indeed, Honorable Chair, substantive motions have been brought before this Parliament for the removal of the President, not only on the basis of Section 89, but also on the basis of the Section 102 of our Constitution, vote of no confidence on the President. This Parliament has decided not to remove the President on the basis of what the honorable member is raising today. We can't go back to that motion that has not been properly put before this House. It was put before this House. The motion was defeated in this House. I therefore request, Honorable Chair, that you rule that we continue with the business of this House and reject this frivolous intervention by this honorable member. Thank you very much.
Honorable Chair of the NCOP.
Honorable Malema, I have yet to rule on this motion.
Yeah, but you gave him an opportunity to speak before you even ruled on Godrich. Because the procedure is such that you must rule on Godrich before you give him. You broke your own rules, so allow me to proceed.
Proceed.
Yes. Thank you very much, Chairperson of the NCOP. Sitting in front of us here, it's a man who
Are you
is
on a point of
incorrigible.
order?
An incorrigible man, rotten to the core. And that has been found by the Constitutional Court. And this story that
Honorable
you voted,
Malema.
the story
Honorable
that you
Malema.
voted majority to keep him, it doesn't make him
Honorable
a
Malema,
legitimate
that is
president.
not a point of order.
But listen to me. Listen
That
to
is
me.
not a point of order.
But listen to me, Chairperson of the NCOP.
Yes, but that is not a point of order. You
What
put on a
was-
point of order.
What was Jackson's point? What was Jackson's point? What was Jackson's point?
Can I rule?
No, but let me speak. What was Jackson's point? We're all equal here. We're all equal here. Jackson did not rise on any
Chairperson,
point in the rules.
point of order.
I'm following in what he did.
Point of order.
So I'm saying the fact that majority
Point of
voted
order, Chairperson.
against the Constitutional Court decision, it doesn't make the majority right. You voted against
Point of
the
order.
Nkanda report, which was declared by the Constitutional Court that you were in breach
Point of
of the
order.
Constitution by voting against the Nkanda report. You are repeating the same mistake. Mr. Zuma has collapsed his own right to address us here.
Can you allow
Mr.
us to rule
President,
on the matter?
441 soldiers will never
order, Chair.
protect you.
Point of order.
Your
Point of
problem is
order,
not
Chair.
outside.
Point of order.
Your problem is here.
Point of order.
There is
Point
no
of
soldier
order.
here.
Point
Here
of
we're
order.
elected.
Honorable Malema.
You want soldiers to defend
Honorable
you.
Malema.
Let soldiers form a political party and come
Honorable
in here.
Malema, please
Inside
take
here
your
they will
seat.
never come in. So we are not
Honorable
going to
Malema.
allow the president to address us.
Honorable Malema,
Point
please
of
take your
order.
seat. Honorable members, allow us to rule on this matter. Honorable Gadi rose on a point of order. I actually ruled and said what he was doing was addressing the House and that it was not a point of order. I then allowed the Chief Whip of the majority party to speak. I want to say, in the first place, the matter the honorable members are dealing with, the members of the National Assembly, has nothing to do with the business of today. It has nothing to do with the joint sitting. It would have nothing to do with the joint sitting because the NCOP is not empowered to elect or to impeach.
On a point
So-
of order.
I am on the floor.
You must recognize.
I am addressing this House. You will take your seat. And therefore, This point that the joint sitting must now address the business which belongs solely to the National Assembly cannot be viewed as a serious point of order by this joint sitting. And therefore, I wish to dismiss all these points of orders.
Chair of the NSOP, can you recognize me?
You are recognized.
Madam Chair, let me just remind you, when Honorable Gadi stood up, he cited section 14 of the joint rules. He didn't go with the rules book of the National Assembly. So we have a rule book that it called a joint rules book 14C, and he quoted so many sections in that rule book, and he combined it with a section in the Constitution. So we would like to stress that, Madam Chair, since this Parliament have not taken the advice of the Constitutional Court, that rules that the President have violated his oath of office. So therefore the President cannot address this House until
Honorable
you, presiding
That is not a
officer,
point of order.
you
Honorable
pronounce on the procedures to discipline the President.
Honorable Sope, that's not a point of order. I have ruled on this matter. Please allow us to continue with the business of the day. I want to urge honorable members not to stand up and repeat what is really not a point of order. If members of the National Assembly wish to carry on with this matter, please do it when it is your own sitting at your own time.
On a point of order, Chair.
You are on a point of order, Honorable Mkwili.
Ke a leboga modulasetulo. Ke ema yana ke go gakolola gore ka di 25 tsa October 2016 you allowed Mr. Zuma to address the National Council of Provinces, and we made it a point to you, Honorable Chair, to say
Is that a point of order, Honorable
It's a point
Mukwege?
of order.
That is not a point of order.
What you replied on, you said this is not the business of the NCOP.
Yes.
Let me remind you that Parliament is made up of two houses, meaning the NA and the National Council of
Honorable
Provinces.
Mukwege, please
Therefore,
take your
the
seat. That's not a point of order.
It's a point of order. Listen to what I'm saying.
That
You
is not
even
a point
allowed
of
him
order.
to speak.
Please take
so we
your
are not
seat.
going to allow this man to address us. He's
Honorable
not honorable.
Mukwege,
I've
take your
taken
seat.
my oath.
That is not a point of order. Honorable members, the business of the National Assembly and the business of the NCOP and the mandates as per the Constitution that you are so...
Chairperson of the NCOP.
I am speaking. Please take your seat. Honorable members, we will not allow the business of this House to degenerate or not to start simply because you are raising issues which purportedly are points of orders which are not points of orders in this sitting. I would want to ask the President to continue.
Chairperson of the NSOP.
Honorable Speaker, I have respectfully been trying to get your attention, and we're standing up in a point of order. My leader has been standing up right from the beginning, even before you recognized Honorable Gadi. And therefore I'm asking you, in terms of Rule 14S, you have to recognize my leader on his point of order.
I did not see him. Honorable members, Kahlenibo. Honorable members, I did not see Honorable Lekota. No, I did not see his hand. I have no reason why I would not recognize him. Honorable President, please take your seat. Honorable Lukota, a point of order.
I rise on a point of order, Madam Speaker. I rise on a point of order.
You are covered, you are protected. Say, please proceed. You are on a point of order.
In terms of Section 48, it relates to Section 48 of the Constitution. In terms of that section of the Constitution, none of us can be a member of Parliament, of the National Assembly or of Parliament without taking an oath under Schedule 2. We of the Congress of the People want to place it on record. We pointed out in the last State of the Nation address that the gentleman before you has broken his oath of office. He admitted that. Subsequently, the court found that he has discharged himself from the oath of office. He can't be a member of Parliament when he has discharged himself.
Honorable
Section 48 requires that. Madam Speaker,
Honorable Lekota.
in English is called a scoundrel. In our mother tongue,
Honorable
it's called
Lekota, that
lemene.
is not a point of order.
Now, we cannot hold Lemene as a role
Honorable
model.
Lekota,
That the
that
youth
is
of our
not a
country
point of order.
must follow,
Please
must
take your
emulate.
seat.
Therefore, we cannot become part of a
Honorable
process.
Lekota, that's not a
You
point
are
of
making-
order.
No, we have not broken our oath of office. Now you want
That's
to
not a point of
to
order.
make us
Please take your
complicit
seat.
in the breaking of our office, oath of office. We have not broken
Please
ours. He
take your
broke
seat.
his. He broke his oath of office. We did not break our oath of office. So we can't.
Honorable Lekota,
Yes.
please take your seat. That's not a point of order. Honorable members, we have ruled on this matter. We have ruled on this matter, and I wish to reiterate that we must allow the President to continue with his speech. You have been putting matters, you have been addressing the House, not on points of orders. But we now wish to proceed with the business of the day. Honorable President, please proceed.
You are suppressing our freedom of speech. Switch on the microphone.
Please. Cyril Ramaphosa,
Uxolo sihlalo. Speaker. Uxolo lapho sihlalo.
President Thabo
On a
Mbeki,
point of order.
Chairperson.
Chair.
Chief Justice
Chair.
Mogoeng,
Speaker.
Chairperson on a point
Chair.
of order.
all esteemed members
Chair.
of the
Chairperson on
judiciary,
a point of order.
Please recognize us.
members, ministers,
On a point of order.
On
and
a point
deputy
of
ministers,
order.
National Chair, please recognize us.
premiers,
Chairperson of the
and
NCOP.
speakers of
Can you please recognize us?
Provincial legislature.
Chairperson of the NCOP, you cannot allow a
Chairperson
situation
of
to continue
SALGA.
like this.
It's within
It's
the
out
rules.
of
the heads
order.
of
You have to
Chapter
listen to
9
us.
institutions,
You must give us an opportunity to speak here.
chairperson of the
Honorable
National
You are not hired
Just because you are standing for
Traditional
president of the
leader.
ANC,
Now
you are
speaker.
avoiding things
Speaker.
here.
President
Speaker.
You
Please.
are
Point of order.
permitted to be
Hey.
Judiciary.
On the point of order,
You are
Chair.
another honorable
And
member.
all
You are not
Please.
Honorable Mudisi.
You are no longer
Revoke
You want to be president.
Hey.
The Constitution.
You are
Honorable
disrupting
member.
your own
Prison yet be
proceedings.
addressed
Order.
like you have broken
You
the
are
law.
disrupting your own proceedings.
This is not a cell. This is
Members.
not a prison.
You are
diplomatic
We can't be
order.
addressed like criminals.
Honorable
We are not in a
President,
prison or a
You must give us
Honorable
chance.
President,
Chairperson of the
please
SOP.
allow us to just focus on how to
Thank you.
calm
Sit
these
down,
honorable
Zuma,
members
please.
down.
Sit down.
Honorable members, we have been patient with you. We have been trying to give you an opportunity to express yourselves, but we believe that in actual fact, the freedom of expression of the members of this honorable house is definitely being abused by yourselves. Because all honorable members who are here in this house have come to listen to the State of the Nation address. South Africans are here
But how do you
in the
abuse the
gallery.
freedom
South
to
Africans
speak
are
before winning?
sitting at home waiting eagerly to listen to the State of the Nation address. We would like to assure you, honorable members, that we will respect your freedom of speech,
Please do.
your freedom to raise points of orders, but we are not going to allow you to obstruct the business of the House and to continue to abuse all of us on the basis that you have a right to raise points of orders. So we would like to say to yourselves, Honorable Shibamu, that we're not going to sit here the whole night listening to you raising points of orders,
But the rules allow us
which we have ruled. We have ruled upon the issues you've been raising.
But you have not yet.
We have ruled, and we are not intending to waste endless time because you have a right to raise a point of order.
Honorable Speaker, there is nowhere in this rule book where it's allowed that you will refuse a point of order that is raised by
Honorable
legitimately
Shibambo,
elected
you have
members of
not been
Parliament.
recognized. Please take your seat.
I'm raising to be recognized on a point of order. House
We have
Chairperson.
listened to numerous
It's
points
allowed
of
in
orders
terms
from
of
you.
Rule 14S and 14U of the joint rules. Please recognize me on a point of order.
Honorable Shibambo, please take your seat.
And you're going to recognize me after I sit down.
Honorable Shibambo, please take your seat.
But I'm pleading with you that when I sit down, you're going to recognize me because I'm doing a legal and legitimate and constitutional practice of raising a point of order in terms of these rules.
Honorable
Can you please
Shibambo,
allow me
take
to
your
do that?
seat. Sir, you raised your hand.
No, but Honorable Chairperson of the NCOP, our Chief Whip raised his hand before the leader of the DA. The least you can do is to give him an opportunity to speak and then make a ruling. What type of criteria is this? Give him chance to speak. Let us not have an attitude
Honorable
against
Malema,
members of Parliament.
nobody recognized you. Nobody gave you the space.
But let's
Please
give
take
the
your
Chief
seat.
Whip of the EFF an opportunity to speak.
Honorable
He raised his hand.
Malema, take your seat. There is an honorable member who is on the floor. Please proceed.
Speaker and Chairperson, I rise on Rule 14B. First of all, and this is absolutely critical, we saw earlier on today army members even here in the precinct. Hold on. The fact of the matter is that the Constitution has been violated, which is something even P.W. Botha would have been proud of. The leader of the ANC who is here has violated the Constitution. What doesn't change is the fact that South Africans voted for him. We are not here tonight to debate that question. What we are here tonight to debate is the people of South Africa and the fact that many don't have work. Can I request and prevail that we proceed on this matter so that we can talk about the people's business and the South Africans who are left behind while we have this discussion? Can I request that we debate that, please?
Thank you, sir.
On a point of order.
You rose on Joint Rule 14B. 14U. Honorable members, can we do the right thing and allow the president to proceed with his speech?
I don't want to interrupt the president. House
Honorable
Chair. I've been
members.
raising my hand here.
Honorable members,
I've been doing the honorable thing, Chair.
We have heard points of orders which
I'm
we have
speaking
ruled
for the
on.
first time. I'm speaking for
Honorable
the first time.
members, you will not hold this sitting to ransom.
I'm not trying to do
We
that,
want to continue with the business
Can
of
you
the
just
day.
hear me out,
Please take your seat.
Honorable House Chairperson, I'm rising on a point of order. It has nothing to do with what has been said.
What is your point of order?
Thank you very much. First of all, those two people there at the door don't belong in the house. Those two people there must leave the house. Give that order. Everybody that is in here must have this card and must have been sworn in terms of his oath of office. Those guys must leave the house. They don't belong in the house. They're in the breach of the... Even the justices are sitting on the other side. The justices are sitting on the other side. We've got two people there. I don't know them. I didn't vet them. This is my house. They must leave. Those two people there. That's number one. I don't know them. Do you know them? You look shocked, Evie. But you say this is your house. There are two guys standing there. Who are they? Do they have this? They must go. That's the first point of order, Honorable Chairperson of the NCOP. The second thing is a fundamental mistake here. We are all first and foremost citizens of South Africa, and we are not allowed, according to the Constitution, to stand for any office if we have a criminal record. The Constitutional Court, it doesn't matter whether it's NCOP, it doesn't matter whether it's legislature, even a council of councillors in a township are not allowed to hold public office if they are found to have been in breach of the Constitution. If you want to listen to a person that has breached the Constitution, go do it elsewhere. Somewhere in the prisons there, where criminals speak. I have a duty, together with other members of parliament who have taken an oath of office, to protect this house in terms of the Constitution. Mr. Zuma, please leave. Baba, please leave. You don't belong here. You are a constitutional delinquent. You have to leave. Then we can proceed with the business of the house. I'm sure each and every one of us are competent to can deliberate on the state of the nation. But Mr. Zuma is a delinquent. He breached the Constitution. He doesn't belong in it. It is him that should leave, not us. You are wrong not to protect us. You're protecting him to stay here. As a constitutional, as a criminal.
You are not making a point of order.
It is a point of order.
It is no longer
How
a
do you
point of
call
order.
this house in session when people have invaded? Mr. Zuma, together with those two guys, they don't belong in here.
Honorable
He's a
Ndosi,
criminal, and they
take your
must
seat.
leave.
Honorable Ndosi, take your seat. Honorable members.
Sihlalo, oka NCOP.
I want to rule on this matter.
Why mangabe umuntu ephakamisa isandla ehlonipha ningamvumeli? Ngiyacela njengoba nami ngiyimember yalana.
Point of order, ma'am.
Yabona lento point of order ngiyikhuluma ngithi ngiyacela.
Umuntu ucela on a point of order or point of
order. Ngabe point of order ngaba kuyona ngifuna ukukhuluma.
Khuluma ma.
Ngiyabonga ke. Sihlalo lapho ngaphambili ngiyanibingelela enyakeni omusha nobabili. Kunento ebhlungu la. Kufuke kuthiwa la njoba sila sizosebenzela abantu base South Africa. Akushiwo la ukuthi sizosebenzela abantu esibathanda nesingabafuni. Ngifuna ukwazi ukuthi njoba uhlezi lapho ngaphambili yini ukuthi masingena nikwazi nisibona ukuthi sizolwa sibe singalo. Why nina nibona sangathi thina umangamela simthande? Ngishiso yini na? Ngisho ukuthi kuyimanje umangameli niyamazi kunamacala. Kodwa manje nibhizi niyamfikela.
That is not a point of order.
Ahambe ohlala ekhaya.
That's not a point of order. Please take your seat.
And
please take your seat.
We are sick and tired in the
Please take your seat. That's not a point of order. Honorable members. Honorable member, please take your seat. Please take your seat. Please take your seat.
Siyasinda lesihlanu ngizosithwala ekhanda.
Please take your seat.
Hayi kodwa ngixhenza ngikuthanda kanjena.
Please take your seat. Honorable members, we have been patient. We have listened to you. We have also said to you, you must refrain from these continuous points of orders, which are frankly very spurious. We have also advised that you should not abuse the joint rules. We want to ask you to take your seats, to allow us to continue with this business of this House. Or if honorable members are really not interested in the business of the day, please leave this House.
No.
I will not recognize any other point of order.
Police.
I will not recognize any point of order.
You are making a terrible mistake. You are making a terrible mistake.
Honorable member, take your seat or leave this House.
The clue that binds the people of this country.
Honorable member,
the Constitution.
take your seat or leave this House.
Honorable Chairperson, you are out of order yourself.
Honorable Madisha, I did not recognize you. Please take your seat.
You are not following the rules.
Please take your seat.
You are out of order yourself.
If you do not want to take your seat, sir, please leave this House.
Chairperson.
You have
Chairperson.
Take your seat or leave this House.
You are wrong. You are wrong.
Honorable Madisha, please leave the House.
Because you cannot take.
It's wrong of you. Honorable Madisha to
it's wrong of you to take. I want to emphasize what we believe is a thief from the streets and say that he must come and address a parliament.
Honorable members, I have asked Honorable Madisha to leave the House. He has refused to leave the House. I am therefore calling on the protection services of Parliament to help Honorable Madisha to leave this House. When you are on your head, on your feet, you are recognized. Proceed.
Thanks, Chair. Yeah, just to reiterate, Chair, we've just seen that cable again now. So we need a clear undertaking from yourselves that this is not going to happen. We've just seen that cable. On a second point of order, Chair, I think the point that is being made here is that this entire gathering is unconstitutional. Because in the first place, it should not be addressed by someone who has flouted his own oath of office.
Honorable
That is the point
Mokoena.
that is being made here. The entire gathering here
Honorable
is
Mokoena.
unconstitutional. But can you please at least rule on the issue of
Honorable
the cable
Mokoena.
so that we can deal with that? Please,
Honorable
ma'am,
Mokoena,
we're asking you.
The Speaker has ruled on the first point you raised.
It's not, but the cable came inside here. The cable was in here just now.
Honorable Mokoena.
Can you please rule?
The Speaker has ruled on that first point. Your
Not
second
ruled,
point
Chair,
is
because
not a
that
point
cable
of
was
order.
in here just now.
Please
I saw it
take
myself.
your seat.
Point of order.
Please
Chair.
tell us
Point of order, Chair.
that there will not be any
Chair, can
cables
you
used
recognize me?
on anybody or any injections. We need a ruling from you. And you must be specific.
House Chair, point of order, please.
Honorable Mokoena, as the Honorable Chairperson is saying, the matter of the security forces, the parliamentary protection services, I have ruled on. And honorable members, the Honorable Chairperson has also ruled on the matter of this unending points, supposed points of orders. And honorable members, we are not taking any other points of orders.
Speaker.
Honorable Mokoena.
Can I be recognized?
Honorable Mokoena, I'm not going to recognize you because, as I'm saying, we are not taking any more
Speaker.
spurious points of orders. We've
Speaker.
been carrying on like this for an hour now, and we
Speaker.
have no intention of proceeding like this beyond this.
Speaker.
We have, honorable members, been very patient with you and cannot waste the time of South Africans beyond what we have done.
Speaker.
Any honorable member who does not want to abide by the rulings of the chair would have to please leave the house so we can proceed.
Speaker. Honorable Speaker, may I be recognized, please?
Honorable Kwankwa.
On this matter, you've not made a ruling, so I think I'm within my rights to stand up.
On which matter?
The matter was raised by the leader of the Democratic Alliance about the presence of the two members of the security office in the House. And later on, it was also raised by the EFF. We're asking you to tell us, explain to us the presence of these members in the House and why we have them here. The other question, Speaker, I think which is more fundamental, is that we need to be treated fairly here as members of Parliament. You're extremely harsh on Honorable Madisha. There are members of Parliament who stood up 50 million times, who spoke without being recognized, but he said something once or twice and then he was told to leave the House. That's a fact. The other important matter here, we need to ask ourselves, what kind of leaders are we? Yes, we have political differences. There was a young child here who was a praise singer, who was drowned out by the noise. We couldn't even appreciate and listen to the quality, to the talent that the member has. The other issue, Chairperson, whether we like it or not, it's unfortunate that we have to disagree about whether or not we should rise and pay our moment of silence to the people who passed away. We should even be fighting about the matter. The point of order is the first matter I said. Please explain to the House as to the presence of these members who we think are members of the security forces. And you make a ruling on that.
Honorable Kwankwa.
Honorable Speaker.
We have the two members who are ceremonial guards. And they are not in the House. They are not in the floor. They are not on the floor of the House.
Since when? Since when?
Honorable members.
Since when?
Honorable
we never
members.
agreed on those boys there.
Honorable Speaker.
We have never agreed on those people.
Please, we are not taking any more points from you.
Just a brief
and
point.
therefore, if you are not going to cooperate with us, we will peacefully ask you to please leave the chamber.
Yes, I'm going to do exactly that. All I'm saying is that you are so prepared to chase people who violate the rules and keep a man who violate the constitution.
Honorable Malema.
You are prepared to chase out
Honorable
people
Malema,
who are protecting the constitution
please
in the name of the rules.
leave the
If there is
chamber.
anyone who must leave,
Honorable
it's this
Malema,
one.
leave the chamber.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm elected here.
We will assist you to go.
Wait.
We will assist
Let me
you to
tell
go.
you, wait.
Because
That's what
one thing
exactly
we would like you to assist
That's
us.
what.
You.
That's exactly what made you not to be a candidate of the Women's League. Exactly that. Your conduct has failed you to be a candidate for president because you are irrational, you are impatient, you are partisan. Even your own people have dumped you. After they told you you are their candidate, you went home to do umcimbi, telling ancestors you are going to be a president. After that, they dumped you because of this conduct. Exactly this conduct. How do you chase us for breaking the rules and you are not chasing a man who has broken his oath of office, his constitution? We are abused by Zuma here.
We are not going to
We
allow
are abused
you
by Zuma.
to abuse us the whole night.
No, we are abused by Zuma. You are scared of Zuma. He used you, he dumped you. He used you and promised you that you are going to be a president. And you went home, you slaughtered a cow, he dumped you. He dumped you. We are abused by Zuma here.
Honorable Malema,
You
please
can do
leave the
anything.
house. Honorable Malema,
If you want to
leave
kill
the house.
kill us now.
May I
You can
ask
call soldiers to come and
the
kill us now.
sergeant at arms to please escort Honorable
Call
Malema
soldiers
out
to
of
come
the
and kill
house.
us now.
Speaker.
We are not going to be addressed by criminals. Go and address prisoners, not members of parliament.
Back to me,
Bloody
London.
Kruku Gwen. Le code.
Sebenzele malaselandani.
Zuma ke le code. Lama
Tata Nanti Kesh. Babu Butelez, do you want to rise on a point of order?
Honorable Speaker and Honorable National Chair of the National Council of Provinces, Ministers, Deputy Ministers, Honorable Members, Members of the Judiciary. Mr. Ndozi has suggested that I should leave here because he says it's going to be quite rough. I don't know where to go with it.
Honorable members, Honorable Babu Buthelezi, sicela uhlale phansi baba. Honorable members,
sizomvikela ungawari.
we don't think it's acceptable for an elderly member of this honorable house to feel that he must leave the house because it looks like it's going to be rough. It's really unacceptable. And therefore, from the chair, we would like to ask the honorable members of the EFF who have not been behaving honorably to quietly and peacefully leave the house, because clearly
President Zuma is the one that must leave.
but we are not going to allow
We did nothing
you
wrong.
to have honorable members feel threatened because you have a campaign to come and disrupt
The gentlemen, they
a
must
joint
go. We're not
sitting.
going anywhere. I assure you, we're not going anywhere.
Honorable Shibambu,
Yes.
the president of this country is going to deliver the State of the Nation address.
We're not going anywhere.
I'd like to assure you of that.
We're not going anywhere.
So we would like you to leave us in peace.
We're not going.
If you are not going, then we have no
Zuma must go.
option.
He's the one who must go.
We have no option.
Office.
We have no option.
He must address the
but
nation
to
from
ask
prison, not from there.
the parliamentary
Cannot
protection
be addressed
services
by
to come and assist you or persuade you to leave the house.
This
I
is
would-
Zuma's
I would
legacy.
like to ask that we perhaps allow Honorable Buthelezi to move from that seat and so that for now, until we have assisted these honorable members.
You are instituting a coup in the
Zuma
IFP.
is not scared of us. He is scared of your men, not us. We are not going to do anything to
leave the
Buthelezi.
house.
Speaker.
He is the criminal. He is the thief.
I
We are
have
not going to
called
leave the
on
house.
the parliamentary protection
We are not
services
going to leave the house.
to come
Let
into
Zuma
the
leave the
chamber.
house.
and assist these honorable
Zuma
members.
must leave the house. Zuma must
Honorable
leave the
Malema,
house.
you are the one who's not prepared to go. I hope these gentlemen will
You can
persuade.
kill me. It's fine. Kill me. Just kill me. There's no problem. Kill me.
Yeah. We see honorable members using their heads to harm others.
How? Hey.
Zuma.